Hello and welcome to CanaryWoolf's instructional video on how to make your first Zook with the BAMZOOKi Zook kit. Don't forget to visit our website www.bamzooki.org.uk. Okay, at the menu screen we're going to click on New to create our first Zook, and of course give it a Zook name. This one is going to be called YouTube, and then click OK. And so there you have your first bit of Zook putty, if you want to call it that. I tend not to use the main piece of Zook putty, and what I'll do is reduce it in size, just using the scroller bars here, and I'm going to reduce the length of it. Okay. I'll explain why I'm not going to use this part in a second, but first off I've just got it down to the size I need, and I just want to add an extra bit on there, so I've clicked on the Add Tool option, and I'm just going to choose a blob. Of course you can use the scrollers here to change the size and the dimensions of the blob. It'll take a little bit of adjustment before you get to exactly what you want. Okay, now one of the first things I do is decide on the colour of my Zook. I choose it earlier on because if I choose the colour now and later on where I want to replicate that colour, all I need to do is to copy a body part, as I've just done there, and then add it onto the side. Now that colour exactly matches the first colour. If I didn't choose it on the first part of the Zook, then I would have to colour every part individually, and it's very difficult to get all parts matching the same colour. What I'm doing here is creating the first part of the leg, and I'm just changing the dimensions of it just to give it a rough proportion at the moment. I've copied the part again, and I'm just adding that onto the end of the leg. All looks very basic at the moment, but it'll come into shape a little bit later on. Again, just changing the dimensions of it to make it look more realistic. Okay. Okay, now before we get going on anything else, before I want to add on any extra legs, what I'm going to do is going to give it the motion of a leg, so that when I copy it, those motion parts will already be in place, and I won't have to replicate those for each leg. Now I'm just tweaking the look and the style of the legs, getting them ready for when I actually want to just copy them, or in this case mirror the leg on the other side. You can see it here. Okay, so the leg on the other side now is an exact copy of the leg, and as I move this part, as you can see on the other side, that moves as well. Okay, now what I want to do is to repeat the process. I've now got a copied leg. I'm just going to place it on the body here. I've now got 3, and if I mirror that, it's now beginning to look like a creature that maybe could walk. So I want to add on a couple more legs using the same process, copy and paste, and then mirror the body part. Okay, so we've now got 6 legs on there. And again, I'm just having a little tweak with the body parts. You can do this at any time. Just moving the legs across so that they're evenly spaced on that part of the body. Grab the circle to move it along the body, and the square just to change the angle. Okay, now I've copied that central body part, and as you can see now I can just paste those 6 legs on with the body to make 12. Now squaring the body up just to make it marry up a little bit more, and straight away I can now test this. As you can see, it's not going to go very far. Now the reason for that is that all the legs are moving using the same motion at the same time. So what we need to do is to change what's called the motion cycle. You can see what I'm doing here is I'm changing one leg to work at 0, the next to work at half, 0, half, 0, half. Okay, just bringing that leg down, it's not quite touching the floor. Now on the other side I want the complete opposite, so the first leg on that side, if we look, is on half, so I want to make this one 0, that one to half, that one to 0, and half, and so on. Okay, just one more leg to go. Okay, we should now be in a position where this Zook will move. Okay, and off he goes. Not the fastest Zook in the world, but fairly effective. Now, if you want to change any of the speed profiles for the Zook as a whole, you need to change the original part of the Zook, the bit that I reduced to a small cube. I'm now just tweaking that just to add to the look of the Zook. Now, if I go to the motion, I can change the speed and the turning circle, etc. And as you can see now, this is a much faster Zook. Still needs some tweaking, as you can see there, because it got stuck. So what we're going to do is to raise the body slightly to give it a little bit more clearance on the ground. You have to think about the obstacles that the Zook might face in any of the Zook challenges. Okay, so this is fairly quick, but we're just going through it and test. Off he goes, and hopefully this time should clear the spots, which it does. Okay, so I can make that a little bit faster. And now I'm going to save the Zook. Test it one more time. Okay. What I need to do is to take a passport photo. Click on Use. If you like, you can test it through any of the series here. I'm going to choose lap in this case. There it goes. And there we go, 11.1 seconds. Not brilliant, but it's probably quite a reasonable all-rounder. Now all I need to do is to send it to the BBC. Click on the button to send to BBC. Enter your member name and password, and then click OK. Okay, now you've made your first Zook. Don't forget to come and visit our website and take part in our forum, which can be found at www.bamzooki.org.uk.